So, Saros looks like Housemarque's taking what they learned from Returnal and trying to make it perhaps bigger, more accessible game as well. It's a third-person action roguelite set on a creepy alien colony called Carcosa, and you play as Arjun Devraj, who, fun fact, is performed by Rahul Kohli. Now, the team showed proper gameplay during the state of play and gave us a release date. Saros is coming on PlayStation 5 and of course PlayStation 5 Pro Enhanced on March 20th of 2026. Now, if you watch the trailer, your brain probably felt the same as mine. It's gorgeous at moments, but the state of play edit rushed a lot of the footage together. The trailer was cut really fast and had so much going on that it felt a little bit overwhelming, honestly. But still, it was a lot of information that we already kind of known since Returnal has released in 2021, and this is more or less of a spiritual successor to it. So the gameplay wise, Saros looks like it keeps Housemarque's signature speedy, precision combat, lots of movement, back and forth dodges, and enemy patterns that force you to react. But the studio's changing the loop. Unlike Returnal's strict run-to-run reset, Saros gives you a permanent progression between runs. That means permanent resources and upgrades you keep, loadout choices, weapon upgrades, suit improvements, so the grind actually builds you up over time instead of feeling like you start completely naked after every death, like it was in Returnal. That's a big deal because it softens the bouncy kind of a difficulty curve and should help players who felt punished by pure reset roguelikes. Now, they also showed some of the new combat toys that caught my eye. There's a shield mechanic that can absorb enemy projectiles and flip them back for encounters, which looks satisfying if you time it right. There's also what they described as a permanent second chance revive that softens the sting of death during a tough runs. Those little quality of life changes could make runs feel less brutal and more tactical. Tech-wise, the footage we saw was captured on PlayStation 5 at 60 FPS in Unreal Engine 5, and the game will be enhanced of course on PlayStation 5 Pro. So you'll be getting a shiny, smooth presentation on PlayStation hardware. That matters because Housemarque action heavily relies on readable visuals and tight responsiveness. If the frame rate or clarity drops, the game can feel very much off. Story-wise, they're leading into more of a haunting off-world mystery. The vibe is darker sci-fi, eclipse, lost colony, conspiracies, and the main character seems to be searching for an answer or someone that he's lost. With Rahul Kohli's doing the performance, it looks like they want a grounded character-first narrative mixed with the action. I'm curious how much the story will actually tie into the roguelite loop and how much of it will be told between runs versus during them. Now, I know what a lot of you might be thinking. Isn't this basically more or less of a Returnal 2? And from what I saw, Saros definitely borrows that DNA. Fast action, tense enemy encounters, and that Housemarque flow. But the permanent progression and new tools like shield, revive, evolved loadouts tilted towards a little different kind of a loop. It's less the, how should I say, you lose everything every time, and feeling sort of thing, right? And more of a, you get stronger for the next time, which should change how people approach runs. Major change, even if its core feels quite similar though. Now, on a personal note, I want to be blunt here. It never really clicked for me in terms of playing Returnal, right? I did not enjoy it that much, but I did grind it out and even got that platinum trophy for it. So I'm pretty conflicted about Saros. Part of me is like, yeah, I want something fresh, and part of me goes, yeah, this looks more of the same, and this might not fix the things that put me off before. I'll still give it a shot because the permanent upgrades and the shield idea actually tempts me more than Returnal's hardcore reset loop did. And if they nail pacing and storytelling between runs, it could win me over. Now, what I'm keeping my eyes on next, whether the levels feel distinct, not just variations of themes, how deep the permanent progression is. Is it meaningful or just tiny stat bumps? And whether the enemy design forces interesting choices or just bullet sponges, basically. The trailer promises variety, but the trailer unfortunately can lie as well. So I want to see more extended play, longer segments, maybe even a demo to judge how the flow actually plays out uncut. Now, if you like tight, twitchy action and don't mind kind of a learning pattern, Saros might just be a blast for you, especially if with the new permanent system. Now, if you hated Returnal's loop, Saros might fix some of that pain, but letting you keep the progress. But if what puts you off was the core combat rhythm itself, Saros might not change your mind. For me, the proof will be in the longer unedited gameplay, because the state of play snip we got looked great in flashes, but felt a little too busy overall, if hopefully that makes sense. Bottom line, Saros looks promising and prettier. It's trying to be more of a forgiving and kind of a layered than a Returnal. And it's got some of the interesting new mechanics that could make combat feel smarter. I'm cautiously interested, maybe even hopeful, but I'm also keeping the been there, didn't love it Returnal perspective in mind. Now, of course, mark your calendars for March of 28th, 2026, a day later than Crimson Desert, my goodness. And if you want to try it, yeah, try it, give it a shot. Well, at that, tell me down there in the comments as well, what did you think about Saros? Are you interested? Are you down for it? Do you need to see a little bit more of it? Are you yet not convinced? Yeah, I'd love to read it down in the comments. And at that, thank you so much for watching, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys all later.
This is Second Chance, where you can be revived on first death to get straight back into the action. Second Chance is part of our permanent progression systems, which means you will always come back stronger.
The sun is forever.